These Bushwacker flat style fender flares are for those of you that have a 1997 to 2006 TJ that are looking for a flat style fender that's going to change up the look of your Jeep and open up that wheel well visually. These are not going to provide a ton of additional up travel because really the factory fenders don't get too much in the way of that. Your tire might contact the factory fender flare, but it's just going to bend it and move it out of the way. You're not going to have that issue with this, but you're also not going to gain a bunch of unimpeded up travel from changing out your fender flares. And that's not just these flares, that's all flares in general. Jeep did a really nice job of making a little bit of an arch in the metal fender itself, giving you the maximum up travel. If you want to get the plastic factory flare out of the way, this is going to do it, or you can just go ahead and run something that's factory style, and the tire will just move the flare out of the way for you. Now, this is going to be a very high quality flare. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than some of the others, but it also has some additional features that some of the others don't have. So if you are looking for something that is up there at the top of the line from a quality standpoint and also from a features and things that are included in the box standpoint, I think you're looking in the right place here, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. Getting these fender flares installed is a pretty easy installation, but I am going to give it a 2 out of 3 wrenches because there's a little bit of wiring involved. Maybe give yourself about 2 hours or so to get this installed, but we'll talk more about that in just a second. As you can see, this flare is going to be a double wall flare, but it is going to be a flat flare. It has a little bit of detail along the top here. That edge almost kind of rolls in, giving it a little bit of a unique look, and in my opinion, a pretty nice look. This does come with some weather stripping and some adhesive that's going to make the attachment point between the body and the flare itself very clean. It's going to look good. It's going to seal up well. And really just give it a very finished look. And that's something that not a lot of flares include. A lot of them will just attach like your factory flares do. There's no gasket, no rubber material between the flare and the body. This is going to be different than that. Another thing that makes this different is it includes an LED marker light. The flare is molded for it and it includes it. Now, you do have to do a little bit of wiring to get that working. You have to cut off your old harness and go ahead and do some splicing or some soldering to get this attached. But once you do that, this is going to be a very clean way to retain that turn signal marker light up on the corner of the Jeep, which is going to keep you legal. A lot of the time you have to figure out some other way to do that. As far as the material here, this is a Dura-Flex 2000 TPO material that Bushwacker makes a lot of their flares out of, as well as a lot of their other plastic components. It's going to be nice and UV resistant. It's going to have some nice flex before it breaks. Overall, it's going to hold up well. It's going to look good. It's just a quality material that I do really like. As I said before, Bushwacker makes some very nice stuff. The features that are included, the styling, the quality of the construction, it's all there, but these are going to be a little bit more expensive than some of the other flat flares that are available. This set of 4 flares, including the lights, is going to run you right around $550. I've said a couple times now that is more expensive than some of the other flat flares out there, but I do think you're getting something for your money. I think you're getting additional features, I think you're getting additional styling, and you're getting a quality of construction that isn't there with some of those less expensive flares. So if you have the budget, you'll like the way these look, I think you're going to be really, really happy with them. If they're a little bit outside your budget, there are a lot of other options, but they're probably not going to include everything that these ones do. Getting these fender flares installed is a pretty easy installation, but I am going to give it a 2 out of 3 wrenches because there's a little bit of wiring involved to get your new turn signals set up. So the first step in the install is going to be removing the old fender flares. This can be done by simply unbolting them and pulling them off the Jeep. The only issue you may have here is if you have a little bit of rust on your Jeep because the bolts do go into some nutserts, and if you have some rust, those nutserts can spin. You can usually get to the back side of them to hold them with something, but if you can't, you'll have to do some drilling and reinstall new nutserts. Once the old fender flares are removed, it's really just a matter of using the included hardware to bolt the new ones in place of the factory ones. Finally, up front, you'll have to bolt the light into your fender flare and cut and splice the light into your factory wiring harness. So if you're looking for one of the highest quality flat fender flares for your TJ, I would recommend this option from Bushwacker, and you can find them right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.